Hello and welcome everyone to the new episode of College Dunia's Thoughts on Education, where we connect with important dignitaries of the college. Today we have with us a Dr. Madan Kharat sir. He is a professor and head of Computer Engineering Department from MIT's Institute of Engineering, MIT Bhusban Knowledge City in Nashik. So he has around 20 years of experience in educational sector, and prior to that he had worked 2 years in industry. He has also completed 7 PhD students and has a patent on his name. The patent is for optimal resource management strategies, a virtual machine migration perspective. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the College Dunia Thoughts on Education.
Okay, thank you, Mohit. Thank you very much.
So, shall we begin with the interview, sir?
Yeah, please proceed.
Okay, sir. So my first question is, you have held key positions at educational institutes throughout your professional career. What keeps you connected with this educational sector, sir? And how has been your experience so far?
Yeah, it's definitely a good question based on the career selection. Basically, I am in this education sector not by chance, it is by my choice only. So every moment I enjoy in this education sector since my first day of the service in the education sector. Say, as it is as per my choice, this is my lifetime experience. Whatever I am getting in this education, I treat this as a lifetime experience, and always it is motivating with every single class, with every single interaction with the students, with the faculty, with the management, and specifically at this MIT's Bhusban Knowledge City, Nashik. It is with the homogeneous environment of interaction with all stakeholders, including your students, including faculties, including HODs, including principals, including industry persons or industrial tie-ups. We have homogeneous environment for the development of the students.
Very nice, sir. Thank you. So the next question that follows is, being the HOD of computer department, it is a very renowned department in every institute. What are your roles and responsibilities towards the students, sir?
Yeah, this is a very important question because being in the computer and IT field, we all, with not only head of the department, but all faculty members, we need to upgrade ourselves as well. This is very important aspects of the computer engineering teachers. And that aspect we maintain at MIT's Institute of Engineering, specifically in the computer and IT departments, with the help of certain quality training programs. We arrange quality training programs, various faculty development programs, and we try to motivate the students with the self-learning aspects. Say we motivate the students for self-learning aspect, it means that we give them the problem, life learning problem, life problem. We teach them how to deal with such kind of problems, how to solve such kind of problems using the current technologies of the computer engineering field. And these are the basic responsibilities. Along with that, in this ever-changing era of technology, we are supposed to take care of quality education. And I am happy to share with you that we at MIT's Institute of Engineering, Computer Engineering Department, we have our program accredited by National Board of Accreditation. And this National Board of Accreditation, we have accreditation from this board since last 5 years onwards. So that is from 2017 onwards, we have this our program as accredited by National Board of Accreditation. And what do we mean by then accreditation by National Board of Accreditation? It covers almost all aspects of teaching learning processes, all aspects of student development, all aspects of placement, all aspects of entrepreneurship, which is a very important criteria for all of us at MIT Bhusban Knowledge City. that we are not only generating the engineers, but we are trying to inculcate the students, we are trying to give the inputs to the students so that they will become an entrepreneur. And likewise, how many of your students are going for the higher education? All these aspects we do take care of, and we impart the knowledge to the students based on such kind of quality parameters set by National Board of Accreditation, set by various authorities of the government, set by AICTE, and we are trying to compete with the national level institutions, as well as we are trying to inculcate some practices wherein our students can shine at the international level as well.
Yes, sir. Very appropriate answers. The next point is, sir, along with this curriculum, which is MBA accredited, what are the extracurricular activities or program that enhances the skills of students, and how do you expose them to the real world challenges that they face?
Yes, this is very important that as I told you, we have our computer engineering program and other quality parameters with us. So extracurricular activities is one of the important pillars of the student development. And we strengthen that pillar of the extracurricular activities with every year with certain additions in that. Like we have our own soft skill development programs for the students. We give hands-on workshop for various programming languages to the students. I think in the Nasik and in around area, MET's Institute of Engineering and Computer Engineering Department and IT Engineering Department are the only department who are having this crack the code type of course structure. We are imparting input to the students with the crack the code type of culture. We give them some lifetime problem, we give them some live problem and ask them to solve this problem with various techniques. So like you might have heard the competition like crack the code, but this is beyond that. Crack the code is not only the competition, it is something training and learning part for the students, wherein they are exposed to the advanced programming languages, advanced tools of the softwares through the available strong hardware of our various laboratories. And in that, we ask them to practice with the industrial applications. We have certain industry training programs also like ARIS for our students. I am happy to share with you that in the recent period, like in the month of April and May, we all have suffered from the something good, something bad, like COVID-19 situation.
Yes, sir.
But in this COVID-19 situation, I am proudly announcing here that my students of the department have developed some software application within only 3 days span for managing the COVID center. This is not a joke. How to manage the COVID center, including all aspects of the COVID, or including all aspects of the management for allocation of the various types of bed, for medicine, for doctors and all this. Our students have developed the software, and that software was deployed and was used by our COVID center. That is, we have our MET Bhujbal Knowledge Cities COVID Center at Nasik only. So in that COVID center, we have contributed. Our students are contributing likewise through certain social activities as well. Very recently, I had a meeting with our CEO of Smart City, Nasik Smart City, and we have interacted with them that how my students of the computer engineering department can contribute to the smart city, and we are working on those projects of the smart city. Maybe very soon we will be practically contributing in the development of smart city in association with the smart city office bearers of our Nasik city. Yes.
Really, sir, very commendable efforts from the students of MET Institute of Engineering. Sir, the next question is, how does the curriculum of the institute ensures that the students are being prepared for the future? And how is that practical approach towards the subject that makes it industry oriented?
Yeah. See, when it comes to the curriculum, we are bound to have the curriculum of Savitribai Phule Pune University. And fortunately, according to the Board of Studies efforts, our syllabus is getting regularly updated. But as a pace of industry, those updations are not even sufficient. Though we are regularly updating the syllabus of university through the Board of Studies, but those efforts are not ultimately resulting, because see, cycle of the syllabus development is of 4 years, and within the 4 years, whatever technology is coming today, that becomes obsolete. So to cope up with this particular situation, I always encourage my students that yes, if you are the students of final year, third year, your competition is not with the students of final year, third year of other institutions or the students available nationwide. Your competition is with the student who is studying now in the 11th and 12th. Because whatever technology you are using, whatever technology you are adopting, the same technology is being used, is being adopted at the 11th and 12th level also. So you need to cope up with. And we are very fortunate enough to achieve this particular goal of competition with the current technologies, with the juniors and with the seniors of the students through certain core courses. We have adopted certain practices of giving knowledge on the core courses to the students, so that their base for the entire career will be as strong as possible, and they can build up their career for minimum 30 to 40 years with that particular core structure of the syllabus. And those are our efforts. In addition to this, we have adopted the procedure for academic accountability. You might have heard very rarely this kind of words, that is academic accountability. Yes, we do have academic accountability in our department. All our students, faculty members are working with the academic accountability, and that academic accountability is measured in terms of outcome of whatever activities they are doing. We have set the parameters for the measurement of these outcomes, and all those outcomes are being measured very frequently. And to get it done, we have, or to get some advice also, we have framed certain committees, certain bodies which are continuously monitoring these kind of academic accountability related activities. One of the examples is that we have started with the departmental internships. You might have heard the internships for the students from industry or from the other world.
Yes,
but sir, here at MET, we have departmental internship for our students, wherein not only the curricular, extracurricular, but other activities which are needed for the overall development of the students are being carried out for the students according to their interest. And every student is then assessed based on those departmental internship for 100 marks at the academic year. But unfortunately, in this particular situation of the pandemic, as students are not in the campus, but those students are not in the campus, we have adopted certain procedures. We have arranged even certain competitions, certain things in the online based on such kind of departmental internships. And once this situation is over, let us hope it will be very soon. And after this, when the students will be in the campus, we will again accelerate the activities of the departmental internships, where the physical presence of the student is one of the important aspects.
Yes, sir. Adding on to the academic accountability part, how do you approach to bring in students and teachers training apart from the curriculum that has assigned? Like you talked about the faculty development programs.
Yes. See, one of the aspects of this particular subject-oriented or the industry-oriented aspects is that we provide special training as per the need of industry. We have Nashik IT Industry Association with us. I very regularly get interacted with them, and we get updated through our training and placement center also. Our training and placement center is regularly in touch with the industries near around the Nasik and in Mumbai, in Pune, in Bangalore, in Hyderabad, and they are collecting the information about what are the upcoming technologies that industry is developing their projects. We do arrange certain additional lectures, certain additional inputs for the students based on those technologies. Just like I tell you, we are the part and parcel of virtual laboratories. Very few institutions are having this kind of facilities with them. We are developing our students through the virtual practicals, and this has given us a better platform, in particularly in this pandemic situation. And we come to know that what is the importance of virtual laboratories in such kind of situations when students are supposed to work online. So that kind of things we are imparting to the student, that we are, and see, every student of MET, when he or she gets the admission in the first year, we get the login and password of virtual laboratory to the students, and we are having that login and password from the Amrita Virtual Laboratory Kerala, from the Amrita University, and our students are making use of those.
Yes, sir. Talking about the next gen technology, I have heard that your institute has introduced few new courses regarding artificial intelligence and vocational courses. So, would you like to
Yes.
elaborate on this specific point?
Yes. So we at MET, and as per the motivation that we get from the trustees, motivation from the principal, we always try to be with not only the advanced technologies, but official courses based on those technologies also. So I am very proudly announcing here that from this year 21-22 academic year, we have received the approval for artificial intelligence and data science. This is an upcoming course. This will be starting from this academic year 21-22. And in this course, we have tried to give the association with best possible industry, best possible teachers, best possible experts of that field. And on such kind of fields, we are even arranging certain conferences, certain faculty development programs, so that not only the students, but the teacher and the entire community nearby is getting developed through such kind of development aspects of the upcoming technology. As I told you that we have received, we will be starting this artificial intelligence and data science course. Along with that, we have one more course like computer graphics and multimedia, approved by Savitribai Phule Pune University, and with 30 intake, and that course will be starting from this year. With that course, this is the 3 years degree course with the eligibility of 10+2 passing out. Now, with this particular course, the structure is made such that all students taking admission in this course will get the benefit of teaching learning processes towards the graphical user interface, towards various applications for marketing, various software applications I am talking about. For the marketing, digital marketing, you can say, various hands-on for designing softwares. And that is why we have gone for this particular course of Bachelor of Vocation for 3 years. This is 3-year degree course, but this course is having various exit points as well. First exit point, if the student is self-sufficient and at the first year level, after passing out the first year level, if student think that he or she wanted to quit, then there will be the certification awarded to the student after the first year. After second year, there will be the diploma awarded. And after completion of the 3 years, there will be the Bachelor of Vocation degree awarded to the student by Savitribai Phule Pune University. Likewise, various multiple exit points are also available in such kind of courses. And this is the need of today's era. This is need of today's era, that we are trying to come out of our traditional course structure, our traditional pattern of the education to meet the new challenges of new National Education Policy 2021. There are many things that we can talk about the National Education Policy 2021.
Yes, sir. Yes. So, sir, my next question is: how do you compare the computer engineering department of MET to its peers in Nashik region specifically? So, what are the like add-on points that MET offers as compared to its other peers in Nashik region?
Yeah, specifically, I am very pleased to share with you that at MET, Bhujbal Knowledge City, we are working with the flat structure in the academic development of the students. This is very important aspect. We are working as a flat structure as far as the academic development of the student is concerned.
Okay,
it means
sir.
that everybody is having equal share, equal responsibility towards the development of students. It means all stakeholders are getting satisfied with this particular structure and everybody is accountable for his or her role. This is first thing. That is one of the biggest strength of MET. Another aspects of working with the MET that always adding value in the student development. Suppose today we have worked out with some activity. Next year, how that activity can be further developed, that activity can be further strengthened. We work on that and we keep on adding certain value in those activities. And every year, such a even small value of addition in that activity is strengthening not only the environment, not only the student development, but the entire community of Bhujbal Knowledge City, Nashik. And with this particular, we are having motivation from the management, from the trustees of MET Bhujbal Knowledge City that yes, you should go always ahead. Just to quote one example, after completion of any activity, though we celebrate it, but during the celebration, our point is always that what next? We always keep in mind that what next we should do. Based on the feedback, we have very strong feedback system for every activity. That feedback is recorded, that feedback is assessed. We are trying to find out the lacunas, we are trying to find out the missing points in that activity through the feedback. And based on that feedback, we are adopting something new and strengthening that activity as a regular, and this is our regular structure, this is our regular, you can say, lifestyle in the MET Bhujbal Knowledge City, that yes, with this feedback, we are always trying to improve ourselves towards the student development activities. And this is what the biggest strength I find as a MET BKC.
Yes, sir. So now let's move on to the challenges that you think. What are the biggest challenges that you face for higher education in general, as well as your institution specifically?
Yes, this is very important because being in the computer field or being in the engineering education, we always need to keep ourselves updated. Now, recent challenges are to not only to study but to implement the National Education Policy 2020. From 2020 year, our Ministry of Education has announced the National Education Policy for coming 20 years. And that National Education Policy is having certain aspects related to the educational development of the students, educational development of the faculty, of the institutes, of the universities, of the states and entire nation. Those policies are well drafted, well narrated, and we have all studied those national education policies, and we are trying to adopt those policy parameters, because what are existing, even accreditation systems are there, existing assessment systems are there. Those will not be no longer over there. Those need to be changed. Those needs to be updated rather. And those updations will be based on, I suppose, this is my personal opinion, I suppose those will be based on this particular national education policy. And we have prepared ourselves, not only prepared, but some of the aspects of those national education policy we have started to adopt and to practice even. Like national education policy wants at least one university or one institute in every district having strong footprints in the multidisciplinary courses, in the multidisciplinary subjects, in the multidisciplinary aspects of the technical education. And we are marching towards those particular multidisciplinary courses. Likewise, this year in MET Bhujbal Knowledge City, Nasik, we have got approval for 3 different courses. One is civil engineering and environment. Here in the environment is the additional part, that is the need of this particular hour that we have adopted, and we will be starting this course. Another course is automation and robotics. Yes, in this particular today's new industrial evolution, the automation and robotics is going to play very vital and major role for the industry scenario, for the entire technical applications, and those kind of courses we have adopted. Apart from that, we have one more course like computer science and design. This is altogether different course than the computer engineering, computer science and engineering. Herein, the designing aspects of 3 levels of the computers. One is the hardware, software, and another is the graphical interface, which is needed for the general public. All these 3 aspects will be covered in this particular computer science and design course. So likewise, we are updating ourselves. Likewise, and to cope up with this, how to cope up with such kind of changing scenarios, it is the challenge. And rather as a challenge, we take this as an opportunity for all of us to get developed. And we at MET are having this kind of culture that we are developing ourselves on the lines of the updations.
Yes, sir. So adding on, sir, do you want to...
One more thing I would like to...
Yes, sir.
One more thing I would like to that. As a result of this, though it is not officially announced, but I am very happy to share with you that our students of electrical engineering department have recently developed an electrical 4-wheeler, and it was tested last week only in our campus. So this is what our every department of MET Institute of Engineering is getting developed through the advancements of the technologies being imparted, being available in the market.
Very nice, sir. Adding on to that point, would you like to elaborate on placement statistics offered from your department?
Yeah, as far as the placement statistics is concerned, yes, as I told you, we are National Board of Accredited program as a computer engineering with us. This accreditation is awarded only when you have not only the placement, but you have quality placement and with minimum percentage. And that minimum percentage for us, we treat as a minimum 75%. Means your students must be, minimum 75% of your students must be placed. Apart from that, this we treat as a minimum, though norms are saying minimum 50%, 60% like this. But we treat at our department minimum 75% of our undergraduate program must be employed, must be placed with the good quality placement activities. Not only this, apart from this particular, as I told you in the earlier, we are focusing our activities towards the entrepreneurships, towards the higher education. So other students are getting themselves more cultivated, motivated to those kind of aspects of the career, like they are becoming entrepreneur, they are becoming, they are preparing themselves and they are getting admission to the higher education, like MS abroad, ME, MTech from the good quality institutions, or even MBA, from the national or you can see the state level institutes. Likewise, we are having this kind of nature, these kind of aspects available with us for the involvement of the students and for you can say as a add-on values to the students. And as far as the placement is concerned now, we are not only focusing the placement, but we are trying to go beyond the placement as well. Our every batch of our passing out of from our department is having minimum 4 to 5 entrepreneurs, and each one of them is capable of giving some jobs to the upcoming engineers also. So, and that linkages we would like to be as much as strong with the industry, with the our pass out student, our alumni, and so that they can contribute, they can uplift our upcoming batches of graduation program.
Yes, sir. One final question, sir. Any suggestions you would like to give to the current youth and the aspiring students that they want to enter this institute?
Yes. Now, this is very high time to express the suggestions to the students, because we are experiencing the online scenario since last around 1.5 years. My suggestion to the students is that whatever they do, they should be with very sincerity, dedication towards the studies. In this particular situation, another aspect which is missing is the student, not missing rather, but which is getting degraded. Students are losing their listening capacities. I would like to appeal the students, aspiring students, or the entire student community that they should enhance their listening capacities for their development. Because unless you are not a good listener, you cannot become a good citizen. You cannot become a good learner. You cannot become a good teacher. You cannot become a good entrepreneur. And to achieve this, one of the important aspects that I would like to suggest that they should enhance their listening capacities for their development.
Very valid point, sir.
And this is specifically by setting certain objectives towards the education, certain objectives towards their career, and that objective should be with the enjoyable environment of academic development. This is very important. Wherever you go, you should be with the enjoyable environment for the academic development. Enjoyable environment, academic development means what? It is nothing but whatever you do, it is like your hobby. And as you are maintaining your hobby, you are not working anymore. You are enjoying that, isn't it? Suppose I am habitual of something, doing of let us say teaching. So whenever I take a class, it is effortless for me. It is enjoyable for me. Even after conduction of the 1 hour or 2 hour class, I get more energy from that class. So likewise, if I say students are adopting such kind of things, that they should set their objectives with the enjoyable environment for their academic development, for their career development, they will not be working for a single day. Rather, they will be enjoying every moment of whatever they do. This is very important that I wanted to suggest for these upcoming students.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I know your message will be really inspiring for 12th standard students and for the younger generation that are looking forward to take admissions in Nashik. With this, sir, I would like to conclude our today's webinar session, and I'd like to thank you specifically for your valuable knowledge impartition.
Yes, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to give some message to the students, to the upcoming aspirant students of the technological engineering, technological diploma, pharmacy, in education, and I hope that they will definitely get the benefit out of this. And we are, as a MET, we are always there with this student community for their development. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good day.